One of the most dangerous things you can experience, and I want you to take a second and hear this before, saying you come to any conclusions. One of the most dangerous things you can experience living in this world is fully being aligned with God. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but when you actually experience what it's like to be in heaven on earth, which is, in my perspective, complete alignment with the higher source, with God, you feel what I'm saying? Whatever that is for you. And you can hear his voice and you can see where it's guiding you and you can clearly see where you're being taken. And even in the times that you can't, you have that full level of trust that you're going to be led in the right direction. Once you experience that and then somewhere along the line you get walked off the path, almost every moment is unsettling, right? And I think that's where the story of Jesus comes in, because that moment of unsettling is supposed to be the time where you let yourself know that you are forgiven and that you are understood in this life, you know what I'm saying, in general. And I think there's so many different ways to interpret that, so I don't really care how you interpret it. Just take what I'm saying and interpret it the way you need to interpret it. And one thing I realized, right, the reason why I'm still feeling this is because I'm not listening. And that's a different feeling. That's a different feeling where you know what it is to listen. And I mean, not listen from a place of fear, right? Not listen from a place of I don't want to go to hell or am I doing this right? Like, not from that place, but a place of peace, serenity, like your nervous system being regulated in the trust and belief that you are safe and connected to God. Once you stop experiencing that because of whatever, it does feel unsettling. The problem is some people don't really understand that that's what's going on, and some people don't understand how to get back on that track. The issue for me is I know how to get back on that track. That's the part that makes this whole thing crazy. Is that I know how to get back on that track, but I'm not listening. And it's not like God just stopped showing up for you, because I've just been reminded very recently that even though I haven't been listening, God is still showing up. And that's really altered my vision of what it's like when I'm doing wrong, right? And I mean wrong not in the sense of morality, but wrong in the sense of not aligning, not allowing myself to feel, allowing vulnerability to show, allowing myself to be aligned, um, allowing myself to be spontaneous, to be seen, to show up big. I walk away from the very purpose that was crafted for me, right? In that sense. Now, I know the message that God's been trying to show me is to take advantage of all of my blessings, which is where the confusion comes in, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take advantage of my ability to create content, to make music, to make skits and write stories and all these different things. And I think I'm in a transition period right now too. But I know there's just so much more for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good. Like I'm making, you know what I'm saying? I'm not surviving no more. I'm in an aspect of, I can pay my bills. I live in my situation, you feel me? I can take care of my family, my situations and all that. Everything good. Um but it's not though. You feel what I'm saying? Because I know that somewhere I'm not fully living to the full capacity of what I can be. And in my mind, that's disrespect to what God created me for. And maybe that's why I'm making this video. Maybe I'm just the testimony. Maybe this everything I'm experiencing is to be the testimony. So when I do all of the things that I laid out beforehand, but you can see the path. Maybe I'm creating a path that will be seen by many. I don't know. I don't know what it is right now. But all I do know is I'm not listening to God. I'm not listening. And I keep telling myself I will, I will, I will. But at this point, some of my limiting beliefs are more important. And that's what I got to be honest with myself about. Some of my limiting beliefs are more important than doing what God told me to do. I keep, you know, going in and out. I keep, like, you feel what I'm saying? So, and I'm being vulnerable knowing that people could use any of this stuff against me or whatever, because at the end of the day, I do feel like I'm a testimony. And I felt like that since I was young. And I'm okay with whatever comes with that. But I gotta be honest and be vulnerable for the people out there that experiencing this as well. So I know what God wants me to do, and it's not like I could put my finger on it. It's not like I could say it, like I can, but I know where He's guiding me. I'm just not going over there. And I think, yeah, I did say earlier I'm not in survival. That's actually not true, because even with everything that I have, I'm still technically in the embodiment of survival, right? I know what it is to thrive. I know what it is to be in thriving and not be in survival. I know what it is. But I think, you know, there's still this level of survival that's within me that's holding me back from letting go. And that's tough to say, man. That's tough to say out loud. But it's the truth. You feel what I'm saying? So hopefully this is a timestamp that I can use to, look back and say, damn, I'm glad that I went from this point to my next point. Because in reality, what God has for me, the person you seeing right now on this camera doesn't exist no more for me to walk in that direction. And that's reality. That's reality. This me doesn't exist no more. And I appreciate everything about this me. I appreciate this me. And as a matter of fact, I get to meet myself where I am a lot more. You know what I'm saying? I get to meet myself there and say, I'm okay with this, and not be so focused on the next thing. However, simultaneously, I do get to walk in that direction and let go. And let go. And really just let go and let God take the wheel and just let go. Because once you experience that, it's like it's I hate to say it because it sounds weird, but it really is like a drug. Because it's not that you're getting high, right? But that authenticity, that vulnerability, allowing yourself to feel fully so that you can be open to hear God's voice, whatever that means to you. When you've lived most of your life on the opposite of that, that experience is just irreplaceable. So, whatever that means to you, let it mean to you. Don't add the context of the Bible, and we don't got to do all that. Let it mean to you what it means to you. I'm not here to convince anybody to do or follow anything. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm just telling you, I'm just giving you what's going on in my life. So, for some reason, I'm still fearful of making that commitment and going in that direction. But I'm going to be pushed in that direction regardless. That's one thing I do know about this life thing. God's not going to let me stay in this standstill for too much longer. And it's going to be better for me to just walk in that direction than for Him to punch me in my mouth and make me walk in that direction. This video is going to age well. And either way it goes, I'm going to get in that direction regardless. But will it be by my own hands or by the consequences of the lack of going in that direction myself. You feel me? So yeah, man. I gotta listen. I gotta listen. I gotta lean into my authenticity, lean into all of that, and not be in and out, but get in and stay there and let go. Appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all.